The Bookie. Today we will unlock the book, Team of Teams, New Rules of Engagement for a Complex World. With the rapidly changing developments in today's world, more and more factors influence how we live, interact, and respond to certain situations. These factors cause uncertain, unpredictable, and unplanned changes. They make ineffective the top-down organizational structures that worked well for us in the 20th century. Nowhere is organization more important than in warfare. However, the ever-changing nature of a modern battlefield was causing major problems for today's soldiers. This was the situation faced by the American troops in Iraq during the Gulf War. Al-Qaeda's operations against American forces were unpredictable, haphazard, and lethal. Moreover, Al-Qaeda's extraordinarily flexible and resilient nature had allowed them to render useless the conventional strikes of the U.S. military. Facing this type of enemy can be frustrating, demoralizing, and deadly. So what did the U.S. military do? They swallowed their pride and began to learn from Al-Qaeda. While at a glance Al-Qaeda may seem to be stuck in the last century, its organizational model is quite advanced and well adapted to the uncertain environment of the 21st century. Observing how more effective the organizational model of Al-Qaeda was, the U.S. troops began to change the way they organized their military. By building a large networked structure of small teams, they allowed individual parts of their military to be able to react in real time, without waiting to coordinate with every other soldier in the field. In this way, only the exact number of soldiers needed would respond to threats, and if the situation changed, they could call in reinforcements or back off quickly. The flexibility and nimbleness of these small teams transferred to the entirety of the American military force. This adaptability allowed the USA to overcome the instability inherent to the uncertainties in the Iraq theater of war, contributing to the ultimate result of defeating Al-Qaeda. Based on the experiences of American soldiers in Iraq, this book showcases new organizational theories. The authors show how building more agile teams and using networked structures effectively deals with complexity. This book is authored by 4 individuals. The lead author is Stanley McChrystal, a 4-star general of U.S. Army, commander of the U.S. forces in Afghanistan, the International Security Assistance Force, the former director of the Joint Staff, and commander of the Joint Special Operations Command. 2 other authors are David Silverman and Chris Fussell, both of whom are former Navy SEAL officers. Both they and McChrystal are veterans of combat who have valuable first-hand experience. The 4th author, Tantum Collins, a Marshall scholar who teaches at the University of Cambridge, hasn't been on the front line. However, he, like the other 3, is passionate about the functionality of agile teams in uncertain environments. The diversity of expertise and experience between the authors allows them to speak with an incredible depth and scope of knowledge. This book brings theories and practices together via this unique perspective, giving us a deeply insightful guide on how to build agile teams. To better organize the content of this bookie, we have divided it into 2 parts. Part 1, the challenges of a top-down managerial approach in the 21st century. Part 2, how did the Americans defeat Al-Qaeda during the Gulf War?